I've been working on these doors. I've been a door installing fool. I just put this one on for this little closet. Oh, that was kind of tough. A little confined space, but that's not what this particular video is about. What am I going to do? Well, Mommy was mentioning to me that she wanted that light fixture reinstalled in her closet because when she gets up early in the morning to go exercise, she says, I got to turn my light on my cell phone to get in here. And I says, well, just turn the light on. She goes, but there's no light in the closet. And I forgot. See, we moved in here a little while ago, and I'm still doing things. I just installed this door here the other day. And now I guess I better put this light fixture back up. If you want to learn how to do that, it's very simple. Okay, if you want to learn how to do that, stick around. Yeah, you might be saying, hey, Joe, that's all fine and dandy. You make it look kind of easy when you do electrical stuff, but I'm not an electrician. Well, neither am I. I know how to do it. I'm not a professional licensed electrician, but hey, if I can install this light fixture, so can you. Okay? And you can, it'll be basically the same process if you're installing a brand new one, but I didn't need a brand new one. This one was still pretty good, so when I took it down, I was careful with it. Made sure I cleaned that all out. Mommy cleaned it all nicely. And usually you can figure out how to get something apart. I wasn't quite sure how to get that off, and finally I figured out you unscrewed it onto here, and it was up there for 15 years. It had never been touched to my knowledge because it was so hard to unscrew, but I got it. Okay, so before I get up there and do anything, I want to make sure this light switch is turned off. And did you know sometimes electricians or homeowners, when they reinstall a light switch, they might not know what they're doing, and sometimes it's very simple to get this upside down, okay? And I'm pretty sure this one's right side up, but I can get up there and undo the wire nuts. I mean, I could take this off too, and there should be a little thing up here that says top. You know, if it's top here and you have to look at it backwards, upside down, then obviously you know this is backwards. Okay, so you could do that, but I'm gonna get up there and I'll undo those wire nuts, and I'll be real careful. I've got a little wire tester in here somewhere. Where is my wire tester? I used it the other day. It should be in here. Come on. Oh, here it is. See, and you always want to make sure to not make the assumption that your wire tester is working. What if this stopped working for some reason? One of these wires got kinked or something. So I can just put it in an electrical outlet. See, the orange light is on. I wiggle it around a little bit, and the orange light is on. So I know the wire tester is at least working. So make sure you do that, obviously, before you make the assumption. You know, every time you assume something, it's always like 1 in a million, and it just happened to you because you didn't check things out first. I guess I might as well show you this part. I wasn't going to show you it, but you know, because this had already been installed from before, there's a little screw up here for where you connect the ground wire. That ground wire is already screwed in there because on the back side of a light fixture, lots of times you only have the black and white wire coming out. Okay? Oh, that's right. And when I took these off, because they're using yellow wire nuts, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, I'm just going to test this. And it should be off, and it is. And if I want to double check that, I can turn the light switch on, get back up here, and the light is on, the tester, okay? Sometimes you might You might look at a light switch thinking, oh yeah, I got it off, and then forget that it's a three-way light switch. Like maybe it's controlled in another location too. Usually not in a closet, okay? Because you might think, oh yeah, I got the power shut off, and you're actually turning it on or something because the light switch was up and you thought it was a single pull light switch and not a three-way switch or something like that. Okay, so make sure the power is off. And see, these wire nuts, these are yellow wire nuts, and there's only one wire up there, and on the back side of your light you're going to have little stranded wire. See how small this is? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist this all together. See on here, there's only a black and white wire. So black to black, white to white. How hard could that be? But I'm going to go through it in a little bit of a detail. But because these wires are so small, see that? You could get away with orange wire nuts. Orange wire nuts are one size smaller than this. I'm surprised they used yellow, because sometimes you might tighten something up and it might start spinning. Then you don't want that. And you know, when I looked up there, those wires look like 12 gauge wires, not 14 gauge wire. If that was 14 gauge wire, the wires would be actually a little bit smaller in diameter. Okay, those wires there. And see, because I took the yellow wire nuts off, I wanted to use the same wire nuts again, and I couldn't just screw them up there without the other wires on there because it just spun. So do you see what I did to the ends? I just rolled it over, and then I could take my yellow wire nuts that I just took off, and I can screw them back up there. And they were up there for weeks for me painting the ceilings, the walls, and doing all the construction work and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, hey, I'll just reuse the yellow wire nuts. Lots of electricians frown upon using the existing wire nuts, but these are hard plastic ones. I don't think there's any problem with using these, okay? But if you have a question, you can throw these away and you can get new wire nuts. And if I was going to be installing this brand new, I would use the orange wire nuts. Now, if there were two wires coming together, and then two white wires, two black wires, for something like that, and I took the light fixture on there, you know, I would use the yellow wire nuts for that. See? Okay. So certain aspects of it, I do. Okay, let's just take a look at this here real quick. I'll try to get my fingers out of the way. With the stranded wire, I'm just going to take the end and twist it all together. Sometimes this kind of frays and comes apart when you're undoing the wire nuts. And depending who installed it, because see, I'm right-handed, so I'm twisting this way. The last person might have been left-handed when he put the wire nuts on. It could have frayed all this stuff out. And then, because I'm twisting it a different way, I just have to work at it, okay? And these wires are fine. They're sticking out plenty, okay? These are, let's get you up here. See how long those are? Look. Now, does it really need to be that long? No, but when I go up there on those wires, okay, this is the black wire. I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it around the black wire that's up on the ceiling. Okay. And now, if I didn't do that, I would have to cut this shorter and then just put it on straight. So I could do it that way too. And see, there's insulation on the back side of here, and there's two mounting screws. You see these? See these two mounting screws? And you see how it's bigger and then the slot goes smaller, see? Well, that's designed for their installation screws. You could put the screws right up in the ceiling box first, let the screws stick down far enough, fit it over the bigger hole, okay? And then you do that on both sides, and then as you take this, then you twist it to get into the smaller area before you tighten the wire, or before you tighten the heads of the screws. Well, I don't have the existing mounting screws, so what do you suppose I'm going to use? I'll show you here in a minute. Ah, yes, indeedy. My old standby drywall coarse threaded screws. Now, I've always carried these around. These are 1.25 inches. See here, 1.25 inches. Coarse thread. Coarse thread. Drywall screws. You know, they also have these in fine threads. And you use the fine threads for sheet metal. So when you go to the store, make sure if you want coarse thread, you get the box that's coarse thread. Don't put these into wood, or don't put the thin sheet metal screws into wood and stuff. They don't have as much of a holding power. And see, I've got, of course, I got two sizes here, and I always carry drywall screws. See, these are 1 5/8. So I carry 1 inch. Do you know they have 1 inch? I never even knew that a couple years ago. I thought the smallest was 1.25 inches, but they have 1.25 inches, 1 inch, 1 5/8. I also have 2 inch, I have 2.5 inch, and I have 3 inch. I never know when I'm going to use these screws. Okay? And normally, for something like this, I would use the 1.25 inch screws. Okay, but this time I'm going to use 1 5/8 because I want the screw to stick down a little bit, down lower, coming from the mounting box up here. Because I'm just going to take it and screw it right to the mounting box mounting screws. You see there's one screw there, and see that screw right there? Right, that hole, that goes up into a screw. But see how it's indentated up higher than the ceiling? Well, that's taken, if I use the 1.25 inch sheetrock screws, I've already got 1/4 inch of it that's sticking above the ceiling, don't I? And so that's almost like using a 1 inch screw. And plus, once I get the screws in there, I've got to screw it up far enough in there because see, it's got a metal clip thing on there. That means the first 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. Beyond that, I've got no threads. So I've already wasted 3/8 of my screw. And it's going to be really tight if I use the 1.25 inch. So I'm going to break down and use my 1 5/8. I always try to use the smaller screw first if I can, because you know these screws are expensive. So obviously the 1 5/8, because they're longer, you don't get as many in the box as the 1.25 inch. Okay, and so I'm going to use the 1 5/8, and see they just barely fit here. If anything, they're too tight. But see, if I hold my mouth, well, ooh, maybe not. Oh yeah, see, there I got it. You gotta hold your mouth just right, and see, it kind of has to go in at an angle. So when I get up there, I might not be able to put those in there, and I might have to do it a different way. And I want to see something on here. No, that's number 6. See, sometimes they come in different thicknesses and measurements. Sometimes you can see a number 8, and I think that tells you the size of the head. Now see, that's number 6, and I've done one of these light fixtures before, and it took a little bit of doing to get the screw up in there. Okay, because you're going to be on the back side. But I'm going to try it with the 1 5/8 screws. Okay, and then I'll just have to have it up there and kind of work at it a little bit and get it through that hole. And I think I'll be able to do it. All right, we're gonna try that anyways. And so my first thing, I've got to kind of do some prep, do a little prep work on this, on these wires. We'll just get it like this. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I mean, you should get the gist of everything. And let's just move these wires out of the way. So I'm going to take these 1 5/8, and they go right up in this box. It's the plastic box. So see, I've got this thing sticking way down, so I got plenty of room. I don't want to use anything longer than the 1 5/8. I don't know how long the threads go up inside this thing. And the last thing I want to do is get it up in there and crack something out, okay? And so now I've got to decide on these. Do I want to pull that back out straight? And if I want to, I can take my pliers, grab my pliers there, grab this, and kind of pull it down. And it's kind of tricky because you got to hold this at the right place. You know, then you've got to re-straighten this thing out. And if you're bending it too much, you might be concerned to think, okay, am I bending it too much? Is it going to break off? Generally, it's not going to, you know, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to break off. Now, I'm going to do this one different for you, okay? I'm going to cut this one off. And you can use your metal cutters. And did you know if you don't have any metal cutters like that, you can cut them off with a pair of pliers. Let's just see. There's a little slot in here on the pliers. I'll show you that here. Let's see. Let's see if I can show you. Right? That little section from there down. Did you know that cuts wire? Yeah, you might not have known that. Just for that reason, good thing you're watching my video, right? So, I mean, I'm not even going to pull that out of the way. I'm going to get this up there, and I'm going to cut that off, if I can. Oh, look at that. It's not. Oh, okay, there you go. I got it. Okay, cut it off, just like that. With my wire cutters, or with my pliers. Now my pliers, I got my pliers at Lowe's a few years ago, and this is Cobalt. It's called Cobalt. I've always had a problem with these pliers. Anytime I try to squeeze on there, look at that. I mean, I've got to lift out on it. It's not designed. It's not supposed to do that. And I hate these pliers, and I think that's why the cutter was giving me a little bit of a trouble there. And they told me, hey, just bring them back. You've got 100% warranty on them. So if anything happens to it, you can take them back and get a free pair. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm just taking my wire strippers, and I'm stripping off a little piece. And I'm looking at the black one. I'm going to make that one just about the same, about a 1/2 inch, 5/8. Okay, and these yellow wire nuts will still work on there. Okay, in a pinch. And like I said, I would have really preferred orange. And I could use my orange ones. I got some orange ones, some brand new orange ones, and then I could throw my yellows in the bag with all my other wire nuts, and then I could use these yellows for later on. But hey, you do what you want. There's always options to everything you do. Okay, so now I've got to kind of hold this up, and I can twist this up like that, and then I've got my stranded wire is just a hair longer, so I'm just going to twist it on there, and then hold my wire nut on there and twist it on there. I want to make sure this thing goes tight, and it's going tight. Okay, there. And you want to pull on your stranded wire to make sure it's on there. Okay, sometimes you might think your wire nut's tight, and all of a sudden it comes off. So that's why I always check that. And I've got a little kink in this wire, but that's okay because that's giving me a little bit more of a thickness for that wire. So my yellow wire nut will fit on there, no problemos. Okay, I want to get my finger out of the way there. I want the wire to stay straight. Okay, get that on there. You don't have to be an electrician to do this. You just want to make sure your power's off. Okay, so I'm pulling on that, everything's fine. You should be able to let go of that. I've got a light bulb in here. I'm gonna take the light bulb out. Okay, that way it gives me a little bit more room to see where those little anchors are. Get the insulation out of my way a little bit. Now this had some tin foil on here that got ripped. The tin foil's for when the light bulb gets up there. And see, this was made years ago for incandescent bulbs, for when they get hot. This insulation or this film here, it's kind of like tin foil film. You know, protects it from getting too hot in there. But I'm probably not going to put this bulb back in there. This is an incandescent bulb, and I'll probably find an LED bulb that's just as bright, if not brighter than this, and it doesn't put off as much heat. Okay, so I'm just going to rearrange these wires, push them back up in there carefully. I got plenty of room in here because I only got one set of wires. So, but I still want to get them in there proper. Okay, zip them around there. Get your grubby fingers off of your ceiling. Make sure your wire is not in the way of your mounting screw that goes up in there and all that. And now it's all about a feel for where those screws are. Okay? And I wish I had some more light in here, but I don't. I could take my construction light or something. And I see it. See, I just had to wiggle it a little bit. Now I got that one. Now I can feel for this other one. Oh, it came off. Look at that. That's because these other wires were, I was wanting to make sure they didn't stick out. Okay, so now I got to do it again. That's okay. I see where the screw is, so I just have to kind of wiggle it a little bit. Because I got the 1 5/8" screws, it's giving me a little bit extra room to do that rather than the 1 1/8". Man, I had it before, didn't I? Okay, come on. I mean, if you can't get it, you may have to either, the best thing is to get a screw that is small enough to fit on there. You don't really want to do this to, you know, take the screw out and then put it in here, then hold it up in there and try to line it up. I mean, that's another way I can do it. But I'm hoping to not have to do it that way. There. Okay, I got that one. It's just the way you hold your mouth, I guess. Boy. See, I can't really, I might have to get my phone light out or something so I can see the screw. Oh, okay, I see it now. There. Okay, now I'm just going to twist this like that, because that gives the screw more room to tighten up against the metal. Okay. Now, the mounting screws that come with this are just a hair smaller than a drywall screw. But I didn't have those, and they didn't have them when I took it down. They had some funky other screws. You just make this snug. You don't have to overdo it. Okay? There you go. For the sake of argument, I'm going to use this bulb just to make sure it works, or make sure the light fixture works. I'm making the assumption the light bulb works too, right? There you go. Now I'm gonna go and try to find an LED bulb that might work here just as well. But you can still use incandescent light bulbs they just heat up. They take more wattage too, because this light bulb, I think it's a 60 watter. Let's just see what it is. Sometimes it's hard to see what wattage it is. And sometimes you have to go outside and look at it. I can't really tell on here. I know it's either a 40 or a 60 watt. And the replacement for an LED is probably like 13 watts or less. So anytime you can do an LED is better. Plus the LEDs last longer. Plus the LEDs don't heat up in your light fixture like an incandescent light bulb. Okay? So I'm gonna try to find one. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna zoom this back just a hair. Now see, here's not an incandescent, a CFL, which is a compact fluorescent light bulb. Okay, now this is a smaller one. This is probably the equivalent of a 40 watt, but here I've got an LED, and this is the equivalent of I believe a 60 watt, and it said it only puts off 5.7 watts. That's it. So let's just I'm going to turn the light. I'm turning the light switch on. Let's just check this out here for a minute. Okay. And I don't usually do this with light switches on, but you know, now see how much light that is? Just try to visualize that. The bulb is already heating up in my hand too, just that long. Okay, and here's the compact fluorescent. This is probably the equivalent of a 40 watt bulb. See, it's not that bright. And they decided to do that because they couldn't get a longer one in there before it hit this light fixture, because this light fixture globe is kind of small. And the end of the compact fluorescent takes up lots of room. Okay, so this is probably a 40 watt comparison. This one is probably a 60 watt comparison. Let's just see. Okay, that puts off just as much light as the incandescent, if not more, doesn't it? And you can let this go and for an hour, and then you can unscrew it pretty much basically without letting it cool down, because they don't heat up very much at all. They're so much more energy efficient too. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to save these bulbs, and these will be like emergency bulbs only whenever an LED burns out or something else happens and I need a light bulb really quick for a trouble light or who knows what. Okay? And so that's that. Now I'm going to take the cover. And are all covers created equal? Heavens, no. You always have to kind of look and be careful on removing one, because they don't all go the same way. Now this one's got threads on it, and so I got to just set it up here carefully and kind of find where it is to start screwing it. And then, see, that almost looks tight, doesn't it? I didn't even do anything. Good grief. Ah, that's not good. I'm trying to move it. Ah, good Lord. I'm going to put my rubber gloves on. See, I'm supposed to be able to fit it and twist it on there. Now, I got it in just the exact position that I didn't want, to where it's not coming on. It's not going on any further or coming back off. I don't know how I did that. Nothing's happening. I'm gonna have to and see, I think this is glass. I don't want to mess with it too much. it's supposed to kind of fit loosely, and then you turn it on. You twist it on. But it went over just exactly in the wrong spot or the right spot, because I can't even take it down. I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. I've got to get up there a little bit higher so that I can use a little bit more force, and I'll have to put my goggles on because I don't want to leave it like this. It could loosen up later when it gets hot, when I turn the light switch on. Mommy could be in here, it could fall down on her. So I can't leave it like that. So I'm going to have to, good grief. I got to get the tall ladder in here. I didn't really want to do that either, but see, I don't have anything taller. I'm going to have to get on my goggles on and work on that a little bit. I can't leave it like that, and I don't want you to either. The joys of reusing existing things. Hey, I just installed another one of these earlier, and I also see, when I'm looking from down here, I'm also seeing that that some of the insulation, oh no, that's paint. Oh, good grief. See, there's paint from the last person who installed this. They didn't take it down before they painted the ceiling. And had I been looking at that dabbity nabbit, I would have cleaned that off with my fingernail, with a putty knife, or I could have flipped that around the other direction, having it face the other way. So see, I'm not leaving it. I'm just not going to leave it. I don't do stuff like that. That's not my signature. It's good enough. It's not good enough. I'm gonna get that bulb, that globe out, down, and guess what I'm gonna do? Yes, I'm taking the whole thing back down and cleaning that paint off and reinstalling it. It doesn't take very long to reinstall, but my loss is your gain. Hey, no lie, I told you I was gonna do it. Here's the same one. Here's the paint. Here's some more paint. Here's all the paint that was there. I thought it was the insulation at first. I thought I could just lower it down a little bit and do it without disconnecting it, but hey, it didn't take very long to take it off. I finally got that globe down, the cover, and I'm going to spend a few minutes here and messing up my fingernails and stuff. If I use just a putty knife, I'll scratch off the white surface. So I'm probably going to use my fingernails and get that clean. You know what? This paint has been on there for years. I just got a scouring pad sponge. I just damped it, and it's working. Okay. This is what I call going the extra mile. Don't just say, well, the light fixture was crappy to begin with. Let's just reinstall the crappy thing, and it's got paint on it. It's the wrong color of paint because we painted the ceiling, and so it looks a little dirty around there. Who goes up in the closet anyways? Well, you know, that's not a really good way to think about stuff. You might have a tendency to carry that on through other aspects of your life, let's say. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know you. Right? But I like to, whenever I do a project, I like to do it as best as I can. If it takes me a few extra minutes, so be it. You know? Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. Does anybody really care what this light fixture looks like in a closet? Is Mommy ever going to look up there? Probably not. Am I going to tell her what I did? Probably not. Okay, now I've got to get the stranded wire straight again. Boy, I'm coughing a little bit because some of this insulation, some of this backing insulation, just enough as you're looking up falls down. I got a little tickle in my throat. Just that. You know, when I was installing it, not just now. Let's see. I got that baby. This bad boy looks brand new, doesn't it? Look at that. Okay. I'll do a good job on it. Now I'm going to reinstall it, and we'll try again to install that globe. I got up there, I put my goggles on, and I got up there, and I really bared down on it. I was hoping I wasn't going to break it, and at first I thought that cover was hard plastic. I don't know if it is or not, but I don't really care. But it could be glass. Either way, it's going back up. So I'll show you that in a minute. Yeah, it took another 15 minutes out of my life, you know, but I like to do things right. I like to do things right. No joke, no paint around here now. It looks all nice and clean. Turn the light switch on. It still works. Son of a gun, still works. Okay. Now let's see if I can't get this about where it's supposed to be. Okay, now I can twist. See how far I can twist it there? See that? That far. And you just want it snug. You don't want to over tighten anything. It was just right on the threads, exactly in the wrong place, and I couldn't take it on. I couldn't put it on or take it off. Wouldn't that something? Okay, there you go. Now, an interesting thing, when you have a single bulb, you see where the bulb is up there. It's more facing towards the right, isn't it? It's brighter over on the right hand side than it is on the left hand side. Now, if you had had I been thinking, I could have rearranged that slightly differently so that the light, more of the light was going over to the left rather than the right. But that's okay. You know, if there was a bigger closet, and if this was on the right-hand side of the closet, I would have flipped it so that the bulb was facing the other way to give more light the other way. But because this is just a small little closet, it's fine. It actually will be okay. I ended up painting the ceiling instead of flat white paint. I painted it a flat or a semi-gloss white paint, and I put 2 coats up there. And then the walls, they're not flat, they're an eggshell. So see, I wanted to do that so that whatever light was up there, and because of the size of the closet and all that kind of stuff, wherever the light hits, it's going to bounce and reflect off to other areas. So, you know, I'm good with that. And does it really matter? I mean, you can think about it all day long. You can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you some thoughts and ideas for when you get ready to install your light fixture in your closet, because I know you're going to do it next time. I just know that you're going to be able to do that on your own. No matter what kind of light fixture you get at the store, it's going to go up pretty much the same. Some might have a mounting bracket in the back that you have to install first, and they all come with directions, and as long as the power's off, you can figure it out. It's easy. You can do it. Don't shy away from stuff like this. Oh, I need to put 5 light fixtures in the house, and I don't know how to do electrical, so I hired an electrician. And guess what? You want him to put 5 of these up in closets? Guess how much he's going to charge you? Probably $150 or so. His time's valuable. Had he not been doing this for you, he would have been making that money somewhere else. So his driving time, his overhead and profit, if he sends one of his guys, he still has to make he still has to make money too. He can't just have enough money to pay his worker. He's got to pay enough for his insurance, his his workers' comp, all his retirement, his medical, all that kind of stuff. So start thinking about doing certain things electrically on your own. And if you want to see more things, I show you all kinds of electrical things that you can do, and I feel comfortable that if I can do it, you can do it. I still got a little bit of that tingle of that insulation in my throat. So if you want to see any electrical video I have on my YouTube channel, I put in a playlist called Electrical Know-How or Everything Electrical or something like that. Just go to my YouTube channel on the main page. Go to the main page and then look where there's a whole list. It'll say all, and then it says videos, then it says playlists. It might say some other things about, and maybe one or two other things. Click on the playlists, and then you'll go to another screen and it will show you all the playlists I have provided and I have included on my YouTube channel for you. So anything electrically, scroll down to the electrical, and any electrical videos that I've ever posted to my channel will be in that section. Then you can scroll through the many electrical things I have. I got the same thing for painting, the same thing for plumbing, the same thing for ceiling fans, all kinds of stuff. Just look through there. You can have a video fun fest watching all my videos in one segment all night long if you want. You know, grab your bowl of popcorn, get your coffee brewing, and have at it. Okay, that's it for now. Hope you learned something. Hey, this works out perfectly so that, hey, if you don't like your existing light fixtures in your closet, go to the store, go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, go wherever, and find something that you like. And go ahead and replace it. What a nice little touch that you can do in your closet, in a storage area, in a bedroom ceiling even. You know, we've got a bedroom ceiling over here that there was a light fixture up in there, but I'm not going to reinstall it. There used to be a nice light right there. I've even got it. I got it down in here. See that round thing right there? That's the whole light. There's a fixture back behind there and all that kind of stuff. And I'm probably not going to reinstall it. But see, you could get a nice light for there, whatever. And in your other closets, here's a guest bedroom closet. See, same type. I installed that the other day. I even installed these shelves. I don't think I made a video of that, dabbing nabbit. And I took down all of these wall sconces, and they were electrical, and I don't think we're going to put them back up. We're going to find something else to put on the wall. But, you know, if you can do one light fixture, you can do any light fixture, basically reinstalling it. These were wall sconces. This one, and then there's one there and one over here. And they were all connected on a four-way light switch. I don't know why they did that, because that means there's three different locations of where light switches are. And then I think they might have even put a dimmer switch on. Maybe not. And I'll have to look at that, because when I took those down, I should have ran them to see if one light switch turned them all on or whatever. And I'm not quite sure. I think I turned one light switch on and some of them went on. And I wasn't really paying attention, and a couple of them have burnout bulbs and stuff. And I think they're on a four-way light switch. And see, when we get ready to replace them, we were thinking maybe we wanted those two wall sconces to be on its own separate switch in there, and have two different matching ones there, and then have maybe these two matching, or we could do different ones that kind of matched and stuff. And I thought, oh man, I think when we turn on the light switch, all of them are going to go on at the same time. So I should have checked that out. So there's a tip for you. When you get ready to paint, and see, I took them all down to repaint, and I thought I was going to put them back up like for like, and so I wasn't really too concerned about it, because they were all matching. Then Momi threw a curveball and said, she doesn't think she likes those. They were 15 years old. They look a little dated, slightly. And so we're thinking about putting something else up there, okay? And so I should have checked that out a little bit more closely. I mean, they don't look bad. They don't look bad. See, there's 4 of them right there, and here's the mounting brackets and all that kind of stuff. And so I should have checked that. But hey, don't shy away from your electrical. Okay, check out my channel. I show you all kinds of stuff. I show you how to install light switches, electrical outlets. Take an existing electrical outlet box out so that you can fish a wire up a wall. Install a cut-in box behind a mounted TV. Bring the coaxial cable down from a cut-in box down to a new cut-in box. All kinds of stuff like that. Taking out a single gang electrical light switch, cutting it out and putting a 2-gang, fishing a wire from there up to a ceiling fan, putting a 2-gang box in there, rewiring 2 switches now instead of 1, all kinds of stuff like that. You don't need an electrician for that. I'm telling you, if you just know a few basics and you have the power off before you start, don't work on hot wires, okay? You can do it. And see, you might be asking, what am I gonna install here if I'm not gonna put a light in there? Well, I'm gonna put a ceiling fan. I'll probably put a ceiling fan that has a light light head on it, and then it will be on a handheld remote. So if I want the light on, if I want more light on, you know, these 2 switches were for well, no, they weren't. Well, they might have been. I'm not quite sure now. See, I think there's a second set of wires up in there, and I'll bet you that one of these was going to be for a ceiling fan. One was going to be for a light. In the old days, they didn't have the handheld remotes. They had one light switch was for the light for the ceiling fan, and one was for the power for the ceiling fan. Then you'd still have to pull the chain, high, medium, low, off, high, medium, low, off. Boom, 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 boom. Nowadays, you only need one light switch that you have just power up there. Then you put this little box up in there, little module sensor to a handheld remote. So if you want the light on, fine. You want the ceiling fan, fine. You want it high, medium, low, fine. You want it reversed, fine. All that kind of stuff. Because see, in most bedrooms, you can have 2 switches here, one going up for the ceiling fan. One, usually like this, is controlled for the top of an electrical outlet on both sides of your bed, let's say. And then you plug in your lamp to the right electrical duplex outlet, the top or the bottom, whichever one is wired that way, and your light will go on. Well, I don't think this one works that way. Let's just see. I don't think it did. I think I checked it before. See, this doesn't do anything, and then even if I change it, it doesn't do anything, which I'm pretty sure both of these go up to the ceiling fan location. But see, I'm gonna be installing a ceiling fan. Do I have how to install a ceiling fan on my YouTube channel? Of course I do. Of course I do. How to fix a wobbling ceiling fan. How to install a ceiling fan light switch. How to run a ceiling fan. All kinds of different good electrical things. Here's a big old smoke alarm up there. Yes, I show you how to install a smoke detector, how to remove an old smoke detector, how to install a new smoke detector, how to test the smoke detector, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's on my YouTube channel too. All kinds of stuff that if I can do it, you can do it. And my motto is always, hey, I'm just an average Joe. If I can do it, you can do it. So I won't post anything I think you can't do. Okay? So anything on my channel, guess what? I think you can do too. All right? Check it out and save your money. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. What is our video today? No, it's not how to install a light fixture, but I just happened to install this light fixture just a few minutes ago, and I'm going to have that on my YouTube channel. Okay, it should be close. by, if you want to see how to install a light fixture, very simple to do. You can save your money. But what is this video today? I was gonna really do this yesterday, and then I ran out of time. It has something to do with a door bumper, a door stop. Now this one's a really super long one. I might not use that one. I might use a little bit shorter one. I'm pretty sure I have some. I've been doing some installation on installing some doors, and I got 10 of these. And see, here's a 5-pack, so that tells me I've already installed 5. And I got the 5-pack because it was cheaper to buy a 5-pack than it was to buy 5 single ones. You know, I saved about $2.50 for buying a 5-pack instead of singular. If I would have bought 5 singular ones, it would have cost me $2.50 more than buying a 5-pack. Just doesn't make sense. Why buy the single ones? So look and see if you can buy anything like that in bulk. Sometimes you can buy those in 2s. I'd never seen a 5-pack until last time I was at the store. I just kind of looked around. Sometimes you got to look, okay? So I might use a little shorter one than this long one, or I'll use that long one. So if you want to know how to install one of those, stick around, because that's what this video is about. And what's all the hubbub about? Most of the time I use the standard ones, but see, this is why. This is why I may not be able to use the standard one, and I'm going to have to figure this out, because see, look at that. It is actually hitting. I'll have to make a determination. Do I want to leave that, or do I want to install a door bumper? Stick around and help me make this decision, will you? Okay, so here's that silly door right there. And yes, in fact, it is hitting. And see, but it's not going to hit any further than that. If I wanted to leave that every single time, that could be my door stop if I wanted. If I wanted, I could do that, right? And I could tell guests when they come in, hey, just be careful with this. It's going to hit that other doorknob, but we decided not to put a door stop on there, and it's just going to hit that. Well, eventually that's going to get all marked up. Do you want that? If you do, you don't have to put a door bumper, a door stop on there at all. But let's just, I'm gonna kind of see what I can do here. I'm just gonna hold one of these up there, back behind the door, and take a quick look at it. Because see, it's going back at an angle. This length might not be long enough. So I'm gonna have to kind of squeeze back here and try it. And I'm looking at it. Oh, that's plenty. That's plenty. See, I could do it right there. And I could hold that and mark that, and decide. See see, I haven't marked it yet, but we'll make another. You can make another decision with me, okay? All about decisions. The good thing is you get to decide on all these types of things. Okay, this door bumper is going to be about right in there, and I'll have to mark it and stuff before I drill a hole. I mean, that looks kind of funky. Usually you've got a door stop over here. This one's just going to happen to be over there. Okay, and it's on the back side of the door. You never really notice your doorknobs when the door's closed, and lots of times when you're in the bedroom, the door's open, right? The only time you basically close the door is if you want to have privacy and want to lock the door or something like that. Okay, most of the time you don't even see the door bumper, do you? Okay, well, we could put the door bumper there, or this kind. You unscrew the back and you screw this other thing on first. That's what I like about these. See, this is the little part that gets screwed onto the door, and then this has the little deal there. It fits in there, and then you just kind of wiggle it a little bit and tighten it up. Kaboom. That's how you do that. But did you know that some people install these on the baseboard? Yeah. I could just leave it over here, right? I could leave it over here forevermore and not even have it on the door. So I could do that if I wanted. Just screw it on. Every time you come in this bedroom, that door bumper is, the door stop is going to be right there. Is that okay with you? Can you live with that? It just depends. On some doors, you might not want it. You might not want it over there, okay? You might want it on the back of the door. This could be in a hallway or where you're backing up and you keep hitting it with your feet or something. But see, anytime you open up this door, you're going to come into the room. Anytime you go into this closet, you're going to walk up. You're not going to walk up over here and oops to go in, right? So that's going to be over there. If this door's open and you want to go in the closet, you're going to open this, go in the closet, get your stuff, come back out. It's kind of a it's kind of hidden over there off to the side. Or I can put it on the back of the door. I kind of think I'm going to put it on the back of the door only because most of the time that's where they're at. And like I said, most of the time this door is going to be open, is my guess. And you're not going to see the door bumper anyways, are you? Either way. And then, like I say, when you close the door, you're gonna be going to bed, be watching TV, be on the computer in the other room. You're not gonna walk across here tripping over the door bumper, are you? So you could really feasibly install this in either location. Now, remember I said I had a longer door bumper? Look how much longer this one is. Look at that. It's actually pretty long. See? But I don't need the long one, do I? If I were to put this over like that, I've already made the determination. I've got plenty room between these doors if I put the small one. See, if I'll hold the small one up there again. Okay, I got the small one. It's hitting up against the baseboard. I've got plenty of clearance there, right? That's why I'm going to use the standard one. I don't need to use the long one. I'm saving this long one. One day I'll need this long one. Okay? And I don't know what happened to the mounting bracket. I don't know. It might be in another room. If I can't find it, guess what? It just fits on this mounting bracket here. See? Because it's the same style and all that kind of stuff. And it just gets pushed on there. I've got to spread that apart. I got to spread that little thing apart a little bit, you know, to get it going. But I mean, trust me, it'll go on there, and it'll look just like the other one if I need to use it. So there you go. And you know, I would probably put it on the door. I may just do that and be done with it. But if Momi's around, see, I don't have to put this on right this minute. I'll have this out and I'll ask Momi, hey, what would you prefer? I think she's not going to care. I don't think she's going to care at all. If you think somebody else is going to care that you happen to live with, make sure you get their idea first. Okay? Go over your suggestions and then make a corporate decision. Last thing you want to do is go and do something and install something and find out the other person doesn't want it. Okay? All right. So, you know what? I guess I'm not going to install this just yet. But if you did get ready to install it, what I would suggest is don't just try to ram it in there and screw it into the wall or screw it into a door with a power operated, battery operated screw gun, drill. You could use a scratch awl, poke yourself a hole. But usually what I do on doors is I'll get a drill and I'll just put a little drill bit on there. Okay, and I'll pre-drill it, making sure that the drill bit is smaller, of course, than your screw, and then go for it. And before I just make a decision willy-nilly on the height of the door bumper, I would go to an existing door. I might go to a couple different existing doors and go on the back side, measure up from the bottom of the door, and see how high up the existing door bumpers are on most of the other doors in the house before I just start willy-nilly screwing this to the door. Okay, I like to make everything kind of the same, if you know what I mean. Okay, there's just a couple suggestions for you, and when you get ready to tighten this up, I just use a Phillips screwdriver to tighten it up, and I just make it snug. I don't use my battery operated drill and ram a screw in there. I just do it by hand. It doesn't take you very long, and you can do it too. And you know, they make these. This is the silver one, and then they also have bright brass. They also have oil rub bronze. They also have white ones. Do you know? So look at your existing conditions and see which one you would use. We're using this silver one because it looks like a nickel finish, doesn't it? And when you look at your doors, what I usually do is I'll look at the door handles. Okay, this is a nickel finish, and if you got nickel finish here, generally your hinges are nickel finish. Well, I just installed this door, by the way, and this used to have bright brass hinges, bright brass door handles, bright brass strike plates. I think the strike plates were bright brass. I can't remember now. I'm pretty sure they were. But Mommy, she didn't want that. She wanted a different look. This is a nice look. If you've got gray walls, we painted the walls gray. This happens to be called Double Click from the Home Depot, and we used eggshell. It's got a small sheen on it, and we painted the ceilings white. Doesn't that look nice? And it just makes the room look clean. And then repainted all the doors a bright white, repainted the baseboards a bright white, repainted the door frames and the door casings bright white. All of the cover plates are white. The light switches and the electrical outlets are the white, not the off-white. And so we take a look around, and everything is nice and cheery, nice and clean, nice and bright. And so that's why we opted for this. Just happens to have a nice bright white tip, and it's got pretty much the same color. Okay, and like I said, if these were brass, then I would have used brass. If this was oil rub bronze, and if the hinges were black, or if the hinges were oil rub bronze, I'd try to find the oil rubbed bronze door stop. Okay, all right, so pick and choose what you want. There's all kinds of things you can do around the house on your own and save money. I got all kinds of thoughts and ideas for you on my YouTube channel. Go to my main channel page, click on playlists, and look at all the different topics I have on my channel. Click on one of those and have at it. What is our video today about? Well, maybe it has something to do with this paddle handle, door handle, and the paddles seem to be going on the wrong way. If you want to see about that and how to change the direction of the paddle handles, stick around. Now see, usually on paddle handles, I like to have them facing down this direction. Actually, they're down and they go up and curve over. I like that look. Okay, but is there a right and wrong way to install a paddle handle? Well, not really. Because the first time I ever installed paddle handles, the person liked them this other direction. Look at this. See there? This is actually the same kind of paddle handle as this door here. Believe it or not. Okay, except it's upside down. Or right side up. If you're a handicapped person or handicap challenged, let's say, This doorknob is easier to open if you can only open it with, let's say your hands like this, you could just grab it here. And without it slipping off. Can you imagine on this one here, it would be harder because your hand could keep slipping off it. But when you get over here, you can just set it here like this and grab it. You see what I mean? So yeah, you can have it that way if you want. And when you get the handles, they're all coming one direction. And they're all coming this direction or they're all coming that direction. They're all coming the same direction, but how come one's upside down and one seems to be right side up? Well, because whichever door you put it on, you see these hinges, if you're on the other side, happen to be on the right hand side. These hinges, when you look at the door, happen to be on the left hand side. See? These are on the left, those other ones are on the right. And so they used to make it to where you would have to know what handed your door is, if it's a right hand swing or a left hand swing. And there's still people who disagree with me on whether or not this is a right hand door or a left hand door. It just depends where you get your doors and who's going to hand your doors and all that kind of good stuff, because some hardware, some box stores call a right hand door a left hand door, and some door companies call the right hand door a left hand door when the box store calls it a left hand door instead of right hand door. I've had several arguments, several conversations with different people on my channel saying, hey Joe, that's not a right hand door, that's a left hand door. And they go on and on and on about it. But I'm not going to tell you if this is a right or left hand door. I am just talking about this handle, okay? If you want the handle the other way, you used to have to order these at the store, a right hand or a left hand. Nowadays you don't have to do that. They come, this particular door has a little key here, and it's got a little nib there. And this bathroom is like one of the last doors I'm doing here upstairs, and I don't have the light connected on here yet. And so I'm going to turn this light on. You see that little hole there on the side right there? You see it? You've got that on both sides. See there? There it is again. And you always want to make sure to put the mounting screws on the inside, and obviously this one has to go on the inside because this is a privacy lever. This is how you lock it, this is how you unlock it on this side. Okay, and so I'm going to leave you to the imagination here that you can see exactly what haul I'm doing, taking off this handle. Okay, because I'm going to, I thought I had my light off on my phone. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to depress it just a little with this. I'm not going to press it in too far because it's on a spring, and you got to have enough room to pull this off. So even though it's in the dark, I just feel for it, push in just a hair, just a little bit, and then I can pull, I can kind of let off on this and pull this thing off. There. As simple as that. And now I'm going to do the back side of this door, same way. Just like that. Okay, 2 handles. Now I'm going to flip-flop them. This one was here before, okay? So I'm going to take this one, which was on the back of the door. They both have a hole in it. See? And I'm just going to set it on here and push it on until it clicks. Pull on it. Sometimes you may think it clicks and maybe it doesn't click, and you pull on it hard and it comes off. You don't want to say, okay, yeah, it's done, and then have the first person go over to the door and try to pull the door closed or open or whatever and have the handle pop off. Okay, boom, that's it. Are you telling me that's as easy as it gets, Joe? Yeah, that's as easy as it gets. Now it's like that. And see, for this type of door, let's go ahead and lock this. Uh-oh. It's locked. But see, this particular one has that little groove there. See that groove? All you're gonna do is take a screwdriver, take the back side of this key, take a dime, take a penny, take your fingernail. And all you're doing is turning that just a little bit. It's as easy as that. The door's unlocked. I could even lock it from here. Look at that. I think I can unlock it with my fingernail. I think I can lock it with my fingernail. I don't have a penny with me. Oh yeah, I do, I think. In the other room. I'll go get that. Let's see if that works. Here's a penny. Here's a nickel. I couldn't find a dime, and I don't know if a nickel will work. Oh yeah, it does. It does. There's locked. There's unlocked. You can do it with the penny, obviously. If you can do it with the penny and nickel, you can do it with a dime. Okay? And now some of them, the notch isn't as big as that. And see, all you're doing is it's turning the thumb turn. When I turn that, the thumb turn on the other side turns too. Okay? That's as simple as it is. Now some handles, you don't have that little notch. Maybe you have just a pinhole there. And if you have a thumb turn on the other side, it comes with a little paddle deal that you can barely fit in there. You use it as a little screwdriver and you turn it. Sometimes you can take a small little screwdriver like this, fit it in there and turn it. But if this one's too big, too wide to fit in there, get a smaller screwdriver and you can do it that way. Or if it's got a push button on the other side, obviously it's not going to have this on this side. It's just going to have the same little round hole that some have for the turning. And then you would just take a small little toothpick or a little finish nail, and it comes with this little thing with the little ring on it with the finger and then a little piece of wire sticking up. You just set it in the hole and fish in there and just push on that and it pops the other side out. Okay, so there's different ways to do it. And what I'm going to end up doing here, this is done. I've already adjusted the door strike, and I've got videos of that. And I've also got videos of how to install the door handle, how to install hinges, how to pre-hang a door, how to install a door, how to remove a door. I got all kinds of stuff on my channel, man. I don't know how many videos. I got over 2,000 videos of different things. And because this is a privacy handle, and because I've got this and I don't really need this, I'm just going to set it up here above here, and because this is closer to the corner, I'm going to set it on that side. And see this door here, this is going to a guest bedroom. Of course it's got a privacy handle on it. I decided to do that because most bedrooms have privacy handles on there. And did I put the key up above the door? Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is, right up there. See, there it is. I'm just gonna leave it right there. That's where it lives. And on this one here, I don't put it out. I try to put it in the most obscure location. So there you go. Now, if you have a different key one, or if the little knob or the ring, set that up there too for the push button type, whatever kind it comes with. I put it up there because, some aren't as easy as opening this with your fingernail or a screwdriver or a penny or a nickel or a dime. Maybe you need the little pinhole thing, and if you do, obviously the knob, the handle comes with it. Then you can put that up there, and usually if I have 4 or 5 in a house, I'll save one for myself and tell people maybe they're missing one. But see, do I really need a key on that one and this one? Not really. So if I didn't have enough keys, I would just put one here. But I'm putting 2 because some of these, all the handles came with that same kind of key. And they all came with that same kind of key. Where are my other ones? I had some extra ones. Yeah, see? Here I got some extra ones. Well, how come I got extra ones? Because this particular handle takes this to get those little handles off to change the direction of them, even on the passage handles, the hall and closet ones. Okay, see this one here? Hall and closet. Okay, of course you don't need a key to unlock that, but they give you a little key anyways, in case you need to change the handing of the handles, or later on down the road, maybe you have a handicapped person living with you and you want them to get into the bathrooms easier. So just change the bathroom one. You don't have to necessarily change all of them in the house, or just change the bathroom and the guest room where they're staying. You know, you don't have to do them all if you don't like. And if you have older handles, you got 20-year-old handles, some old style ones, maybe they look like a paddle handle like this, but maybe you can't interchange the handles from a right to a left-hand swing. And if you only need one in the house or something, go to a closet and see if the closet is a different swinging door than this one here. Swap out the one from the closet to the bathroom, or actually a bedroom, not a closet, because most closets are just passage handles, not a privacy handle like this. Okay, there's certain things you can do if you don't want to spend the money for a new handle. Go take the one off the master bedroom. Go take the one off your guest room that nobody's staying in. Flip flop those two around if you want, if you need to, you know, or go down to the store and buy one. Okay, so just because you've got little holes on the side don't necessarily mean that every single handle that you come across is going to be interchangeable. Okay, depending how old it is. All right, so there you go. That's how quick and easy it is to change handles, to make them up or facing the opposite direction, going down and then back up. All right, there you go. Hope you learned something. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.